The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, Sports Insider. I am your host, Glenn Spillman. We are airing from the East Coast in Boston, Massachusetts, and I am, as Paul would say, in the left coast, not West Coast, but left. You got to listen to Pot Talk with Paul and Jim, man. I mean, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If it's the left coast, because liberals, all that kind of stuff. Anyways, we are coming at you from across the United States and around the world on Armed Radio Global. For those of you listening on TuneIn, thank you for tuning in. And if you guys want to listen to us on your smartphones, in your car, in an airplane, wherever you want to get, go to TuneIn.com. Or you can get the TuneIn app on your phone. Go to TuneIn.com and search Armed Radio, and it'll be about halfway down the page. You get a little yellow icon with the headphones on there, and that's Armed Radio. You can listen to my show and a plethora of other shows. I mean, and I talk about these every week. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but you guys got to check these shows out. Thursday nights, you got Night Talk with Joe Rocks. Tuesday, you got Rock Talk, rock and roll music with Amy Chafalo. You got the What's the Story with Maria, Ask for Candy with Candace Harper. For you foodies out there, you got Rob Rosenthal's All You Could Eat, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. For those of you who like the paranormal, Talk Live Paranormal with Shannon Griffin, Wednesdays, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. All these times are Eastern times. And we got All Aboard with Donald Wiseman. I hope Donald Wiseman got his act together this week and called Jim and Paul and apologized for not being on the show last week. Hope you did that, Donald. Whatever show, whatever content, whatever type of show that you guys are wanting to listen to, download the app, listen on TuneIn. Armed Radio's got it for you. But the show, I've got to say it's my favorite show, guys. And I'm not saying it to brown nose anybody. I'm not saying it to kiss ass or anything like that. But Pot Talk with Jim and Paul and Moonshine Guy. Still don't know your name, brother. I apologize. And it's funny. It's politically offensive talk. And if you guys want to hear a great show with a lot of comedy, I personally think it's comedy, and a lot of really good insight, listen to Pot Talk. And I really like listening to Night Talk with Joe Rocks as well. I mean, they got some good stuff on there too. But hey, you want to follow us on social media? Twitter, Armed Radio. Go to Facebook.com, search Armed Radio, and you can look for the little girl with wearing the headphones and join the over 100,000 other people who are on there as well. And the good thing about it is, if you miss a show, you can go to Spreaker.com, type in Glenn Spillman or Armed Radio, and not Armed Radio, Glenn Spillman or Sports Insider, and you can listen to any show that I've done since the inception, and this week's show, last week's show, 2 weeks ago show, whatever. Excuse me. And you want to get on the show, you can call my phone, 916-420-0697, or one of the best ways to do it, follow me on Facebook, man. Glenn Spillman. Send me a friend request and direct message me throughout the show, ask me your questions or ask the guests questions. Speaking of guests, if I butcher your last name, brother, I apologize. We've got MMA fighter on tonight, Ron Imhoff. I don't know if it's Imhoff or Imhoff. I'll find out when I call him. And if he's listening, he's probably pissed off at me right now because I got his name wrong. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening. We got Ashley Kenny just chimed in. She's listening to the show. Thank you for listening. And any questions you might have. So let's go ahead, jump right into this, and let's give Ron a call. I told him this is a no-holds-barred conversation. So let's give Ron a call here and get this show on the road, shall we? Here we go. Well. Is he going to answer the phone?
Yeah, you know what to do. Leave a detailed message.
Oh, well, he didn't answer the phone. I'll give him a few minutes, call him back, and until then, hey, what do you guys think about the New York Yankees and Boston Red Sox game that's going over in Europe this weekend? They're going to be facing each other a couple times. And they say that straight center field is 385 feet. And I feel, first off, I love the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees rivalry. And before I get into that, let's do this. Here we go. Y'all know what that sound is. That is my cerveza. Haven't got them as a sponsor yet, but I'm still working on them. Ice cold. Tastes great. But I can't tell you what it is yet. I will. I'll get them as a sponsor. I will. But going back to the Yankees and Red Sox, I've got nothing against the Boston Red Sox. I mean, heck, one of the greatest baseball players of all time came from the Boston Red Sox, went to the New York Yankees. I'm talking of George Herman Ruth, a.k.a. Babe Ruth. And he was an outfielder and a pitcher. And I always liked this rivalry because intensity of the rivalry, I don't care if Boston is in last place or if the Yankees are in last place or if they're first and second place, wherever they are in the standings. So right now, you got the Yankees at 52 and 28. You got Boston at 44 and 38, and they always play their best baseball when they face each other, and that is something that I enjoy watching. Of course, I root for the Yankees. They're my second favorite team. My first being from my home city of Los Angeles, and I am speaking of the Los Angeles Dodgers. But let's go over a few. Speaking of Dodgers, bottom of the first, Dodgers 3, Rockies 2. Rockies just scored. You got Braves over the Mets 3-1. Cubs losing to the Reds 6-0. Mariners over the Astros 1-0. Rangers over the Rays 4-0. Twins and White Sox are all knotted up at 2 apiece, top of the 4th inning. So the suspected mastermind has been arrested. The mastermind of the David Ortiz shooting that happened several days ago. So Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, authorities in the Dominican Republic announced Friday that they have arrested the man behind the shooting of David Ortiz. Now, they're saying it was a case of mistaken identity, but Big Papi is a very distinguished looking man, and I don't think you can mistake him for much of anybody. But police said Victor Hugo Gomez was detained in the Caribbean country, and unfortunately, no further details have been released. Ortiz was shot in the back, and he is Mr. I shouldn't call him Mr. Douchebag. The douchebag, Victor Hugo Gomez, is accused of ordering the killing of his cousin, Sixto David Fernandez. Hitman confused Ortiz with Fernandez during the June 9th shooting in a bar in the capital city of Santo Domingo. The two men are friends and were sharing a table. Carlos Rubio, Gomez's attorney, did not immediately return any messages for comments, but he did post a 7-minute video on YouTube on Friday in which his client talked about the case. And I quote, "I would never do something like this," Gomez said, adding that he did not try to kill his cousin, at least of all David Big Papi. Now, I think that this douchebag is, of course he's not going to admit, oh yeah, I'm trying to kill my cousin. Of course he's not going to admit that. And I believe the amount of money was somewhere around between $7,000 and $8,000. I mean, come on. I mean, that might be a lot of money over there, but $7,000 to $8,000 for a hit? That's good beer. Good beer. Nice and ice cold. I mean, come on now. Let me get a hold of Ron Facebook. Let me just say, I just tried calling. Let me try and call him again. He's messaging me on Facebook. Here we go. Let's try calling again. Boom, boom, and boom, and boom. Speakerphone.
Hello?
Hey, Ron, Glenn Spillman of Sports Insider. How you doing, brother?
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing? Hey, I hope I didn't butcher your name. I don't know if you were listening or not. Is it Imhoff or Imhoff?
It's Imhoff.
Imhoff. All right. I knew it was one of the two. So how you doing, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Good. So you're known as Ron the Marine, Imhoff. Where'd the name come from?
I go by the Bad Boy.
The Bad Boy. All right. Excuse the pause. I had to take a drink of beer there. So the Bad Boy. Tell us where the name come from.
Well, I started that, and then it stuck.
Yeah. So what? I mean, I know we've got a lot to cover, and you've got a lot to say. I mean, I follow a lot of your comments and stuff on different MMA threads, and that's how I met you and talked to you last week about coming on the show, but you were busy. So what's been going on? What was going on last week that with the picture that you put up on Facebook and whatnot? So tell us about that.
Which picture are you talking about?
The picture, I believe it was with Trump.
I don't know what that was all about. I didn't put that up there.
Oh, someone else put that up there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about number one. What do you think about the MMA world right now? You got the UFC, you got Bellator, you got a few other,
I like them all, I like them all, but it's the point is, I don't bash those guys or anything like that, I bash the ones that talk crap on the page, like Scott Blevins and Uric Hall, which is AKA Corey Hall, and then you've got Alan Moosman and all them. I bash the shit out of them.
Right. So, what are your thoughts on? Okay, have you heard of like a West Coast Fighting Championship? GKO, King of the
I've
Cage.
heard all of that.
Yeah,
I've heard of all of that.
all right. So without, I mean, not bashing per se, but you got UFC, and I know a lot of UFC fighters, especially here in Sacramento, with like Uriah Faber, Max Griffin, stuff like that. When you got your prelims and early prelim fights, you got these guys that are fighting for just a couple $1,000s, maybe a few $1,000s. I mean, kind of peanuts, really. And then you
my point is on that. I mean, if that's what they're fighting for, that's what they're fighting for. I mean, some of them are worth a lot more than that.
Right.
You know?
So my point is, you got UFC making all this money on pay-per-view and all this kind of stuff, and they got a and I did the math one time, and they're making multiple tens of millions of dollars. Don't you think there should be, in the early prelims, there should be at least, a $10,000 purse?
Oh yeah, there should be a $10,000 purse, regardless. I mean, you show up to fight, then you should get paid for that. Obviously, that does happen, and then there should be a purse in between of $10,000 of whoever wins gets that $10,000 in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a $30,000 purse right there total, but each of them is getting $10,000. But whoever wins gets an extra $10,000.
Right. And I think
you know what I'm saying. I mean,
go ahead.
I don't know if it works that way. I mean, it may work that way. I don't know. I haven't researched that, but I know for a fact that I've fought in many little shows in Iowa, and they have a purse like that where you show up and then there's a win purse in the middle, but it's a couple $100, $300-$400.
Yeah.
I mean, screw all that shit. That's
right.
why I don't fight in Iowa no more.
So
I don't fight in Iowa no more
because of that.
Yeah, they don't pay me enough.
Right. So what do you
I
think?
mean, you got these websites like Tapology that says my record's different than what the original website says, which is mixedmartialarts.com. It says my fight record is 7-10. Okay, so what? I'm three losses away from tying my losing spot. So what? Who cares if I lose? Everybody loses.
Right.
But the point is, you got guys like Scott Blevins. He's never won a fight. He's 0-17. Okay, he claims he's won 140 bare knuckle fights, which that's a lie. Okay, he says he's won a title belt, which is a lie. He's never won any titles. He's never won a belt. He's never won a fight. That's the exact same with Alan Moosman. He's the same way. He's 0-8. He claims that he has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which caught him, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. He posted on Facebook at one time that he bought the belt online.
Huh.
Caught himself and didn't even know he was recording himself.
So
They posted it on Facebook.
why do you think that he's and fighters like that claim one thing? Because we live in a world of technology, man, and we can find out anything about anybody.
Exactly.
So I mean, why do you think these bare knuckle fights? And I mean,
you see, my bare knuckle fights when I did it was back in Detroit, way before anything started being posted on websites.
right.
You know what I'm saying? The commission never came in until I think 94. It was.
Right.
I mean, they didn't even have commission in the UFC at that time.
So
I mean, I think Vegas did, but I'm talking about every other state that they did it in. They didn't have commission. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And also, and now it's regulated that you have to have your fights posted regardless,
Right.
win or lose. But you don't go sit there claiming, like Blevins, I'm a badass, I'll beat your ass and all this stuff. No, you won't. You won't do nothing. I mean, I've called him out multiple times in the last 10 years, and he still has not signed on the dotted line.
So why do you think he's dodging you?
He's scared. That's what it is. He's scared of getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
I might be 47 years old, but dude, I've trained with Spencer Fisher, Anthony Nachi, several other guys that are now big time. You know, and that was back in the Quad Cities in Moline, Illinois.
Right. So,
I'm very good friends with Spencer.
Right.
You know, I don't down the guy, you know, and anything like that. You know, I'm not like how, like I say, Moosman is. He downs everybody and thinks he's the God's gift of fighting, and he's not.
So, what do you think? I mean, a lot of people hide behind the computer, and they talk a bunch of crap, especially during these threads. And I know some people talk just to get a reaction, but what have you offered this guy? Like, you know,
I told him flat straight out. You want to fight? Sign on the dotted line, and we'll get it on. We'll do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just like, you know, I'm not going to down the kid. That's just like Nick Longoria. He lives in Portage, Indiana. He ran his mouth to my kid on Facebook, and then my kid told me, and then I started jumping his ass and this and that, and next thing you know, we're fighting, and I beat his ass.
Right on. Right on.
In the cage. So, point proven. You know, I mean, the people are stupid, you know, you don't understand. You can say whatever you want about me. You know what I'm saying? You can call me all the names in the book you want. I really don't care. But when you attack a man's family, that's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, it's a different ballgame.
You never bring a man's family into a discussion that has to do with MMA and start attacking them.
Right. Right.
Especially my kids.
So when was the last time you fought?
It was just about 2.5, 3 months ago.
Yeah? And,
well,
walk us through that fight.
I just pretty much beat the shit out of Nick Longoria, put it that way.
Right on. Right on. And, who was that through?
That was through United Combat League, but I don't deal with them anymore.
No, why not?
I cannot really disclose that information.
Okay. All right. All right. So
there's reasons why I can't.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. So do you think that more companies, and even whether they're the lower echelon companies, and I know a lot of them do, but like I'll just keep throwing the UFC and Bellator in there, they should have, you know, an extra a purse for knockout of the night, fight of the night, stuff like that. You know, to where the guys that come in, and I've covered many fights, especially with Gladiator Challenge, that these guys that travel, you know, hours to come to the fight, and their purses, like you said earlier, $200, $250, maybe $400, and you know they're fighting for peanuts, and you know I feel bad for the guy.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Who would you like to fight in your next fight? Who would you like if you could call anyone and they're going to accept you? Who would you like to fight and why?
You really want to know?
Yes, I do.
I'll put it out there. Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber for real?
Yes, for real.
All right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the whole. Do you really think that there's going to be a Justin Bieber, Tom Cruise? I mean, was that just a starting off with a running joke, or is this kid serious?
That started off as, I don't know, I seen it and then I looked at it and I was like, what the hell is this shit? So then I said, all right, I'm going to keep looking and keep reading through this. Next thing you know, not 24 hours later, he retracts the comment. So I stepped in and said, whoa, hold up. Because if you want to know the facts, when I lived in Midland, Texas, when I was a kid,
yeah,
my next door neighbor's son is one of the naval aviators of the movie Top Gun.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, he flew one of the MiGs in Top Gun.
Right on.
So that, I watched that movie since I was a kid, and I seen that, and what the hell is this shit? So I was like, all right, that's it. I'm done. This 25-year-old kid's going to talk crap to a 56-year-old guy that he's going to whip him and this and that. He wants to fight him. And that's when I said, no, I'm stepping in on this one.
Right.
So I pretty much called Bieber out.
And what happened?
I even tweeted it and everything like that, and and things are starting to happen, I guess. Well, we'll see. But I'd be more than happy to fight the kid. I'd be more than happy to step in for Cruz and fight him.
So what makes Justin Bieber think he could fight?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not knocking the kid or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a big pop star and all that. But what I'm knocking is, how are you going to call somebody out to a fight and you've never fought in MMA in your life?
Right.
Do you not know what MMA is? It's mixed martial arts. It's a whole different ball game from street fighting. And if you want to know the facts, when it comes to a street fighter and an MMA fighter, who's going to win?
Yeah, I would have to pick. Well, I mean, if there's no rules and whatnot, I mean, MMA, that's kind of a. I would have to go with the MMA guy.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
MMA's going to win every time.
Yeah,
that's just like when you put Randy Couture against what was it, James Toney?
Yeah,
I think it was. And what happened to James Toney? He got obliterated.
Yeah.
You never mix boxing with MMA. You never do it. You don't come in from the boxing ring and try and get into MMA. You have to transition from boxing into MMA to be able to do so.
Right. On that subject matter, what did you think of the McGregor fight when he stepped into the boxing world?
And got up against Mayweather?
Yeah.
I already knew Mayweather was going to whoop him.
So do you think that when McGregor came out in the first round and was just throwing melees, I think he should have kept that pace up throughout the first round, and I think he would have. I think he would have hurt Mayweather, but he kind of slacked off a little bit.
He might have hurt Mayweather, but he's not going to knock Mayweather out.
No, he's not going to knock him out.
I mean, Mayweather's fought guys that are way tougher than McGregor, and still beat him.
Yeah, McGregor's hands looked heavy, and it looked a little awkward as far as his boxing style goes. But what do you think of MMA crossing over to boxing, and then boxing crossing over to MMA now? Do you think it's just a big show?
I honestly don't think that's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to come from boxing into MMA, you need to transition into it.
Right.
But see, when you're studying MMA, you have karate, Muay Thai, kickboxing, all the martial arts mixed in it. Then you're able to transition from MMA to boxing because you already have boxing background in it.
Right. So, there's been talks of Mayweather coming and fighting in the cage, and he wanted time to train for MMA. Do you think that that'll happen?
It's possible.
And what do you think is going to happen to Mayweather? Do you think if he fights...
It's possible that the UFC might pick it up. Bellator might pick it up.
Yeah. So
Bellator's not that old, and they've become huge.
Yeah, they have. They sure have.
They've become huge with pride and all that.
Right. So if Mayweather does make the jump and he wants to fight McGregor in the cage, and Dana White makes all that happen, do you think McGregor will play with him? And whether it goes 3 or 5 rounds, do you think he'll play with him, or do you think he'll obliterate him?
To me, honestly, when it comes to that, I think McGregor is going to obliterate Mayweather when it comes to the MMA part.
Right.
But if it stays up in the stand-up, that's a 50-50 right there.
Yeah. Do you think it'll ever happen, though, honestly?
Honestly, no, but if it does, it'd be pretty cool to see.
Yeah. I'd go see that. I mean, I know that it would have to be at least, someone's got to make at least $100 million on the fight.
Oh, easily.
Maybe 150, 200. And I think that the pay-per-views will go through the freaking roof.
Oh yeah. Hell, I'd even order it just to see that.
Yeah. I would go. I would go to it. I would. I'm just a hop, skip, and a jump from Vegas, and if that's where it would be held, I would go. I'd definitely go to that fight and see that, because I think that would be Mayweather's one loss. And granted, it won't count against his boxing career, but
right.
I think it'll go against his ego.
Oh yeah, it'll go against his ego big time.
Right. So what is your kind of like some up and coming fighters that are coming up through the ranks? Who are a couple of the fighters that you enjoy watching fight?
I really don't. I haven't watched the UFC or Bellator in a while. I've been busy with other things, and I mean, I honestly don't know. To be honest with you.
Right. What would you? So you've been doing MMA for how many years now?
I've been doing it for 30 years.
30 years. Do your kids fight?
No, they don't.
No, and if they
at least not yet.
No,
at least not yet. At least not yet.
Do you encourage them or discourage them from fighting?
I encourage my son, if he wants to, then I'll train him. And he's a pretty tough little boy too.
So what are
he's just like his dad. I don't condone bullying, obviously.
Right.
We have issues with a neighborhood kid bullying my son, and I've told him time and time again, look, man, just walk away, leave it alone. Let them call the names all they want, as long as they don't put hands on you. You ain't got to do nothing, but if they put hands on you, whoop that ass.
Right. Yeah, that's what I tell my kids too. Don't start a fight.
It's exactly the way I am. I don't start them, I finish them. That's just like all these little punks on Facebook.
Right.
Y'all ain't gonna do nothing. All you're gonna do is hide behind the computer or on your cell phone, and you're gonna run your mouth. And then when I state a fact, and you don't like the fact, you disappear. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. It's easy for people to, and that's what they do. It's like I said earlier, they hide.
I got some good friends out there, like Ramey Traub and Alex Rosman and Kenny Wayne and Josh Westfall. Those are all my good friends on the page.
Right.
They've had my back since day one.
Right.
So those guys are good people. But then you got all these other idiots that are on there that talk smack. You got some that are from the United Kingdom that talk smack. You got some that are from America that talk smack, and they ain't gonna do nothing. I mean, Jesus God Almighty, I'm 7 to 8 hours away from Indiana. I mean, it's not like I can't get in the car and drive down there and whoop your ass.
Right.
But, I'm not going to go doing all that. I'm not going to go get myself involved with the police and have to deal with that kind of issue. You want to do something, then all you got to do is sign on a dotted line, find a promotion that's going to pay good, and we can do it in a cage where there's only 3 of us. Me, you, and the ref.
There you go.
No place to run.
So do you have a minimum purse that you fight for, or do you say, like, I won't fight for this unless you pay me X amount?
I won't, dude, I won't fight for less than I fought in Florida. Oh, wait. Let's see. I fought in Florida one time for $800.
Right.
And then I fought in Indianapolis, Indiana, at the 8 Second Saloon for a good friend of mine, and I made $750 off that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm fighting guys I'll fight guys that nobody will fight. You know?
So,
that's the way I've always been, you know? Don't put some chump in there. Put somebody in there that's tougher, and, you know, let's let it see where it lies. Let it see where it lies.
Right. So what's the
you could be the toughest. You could be the toughest guy in the U.S. You could be the toughest guy in say a promotion in Indiana. You could be the toughest guy in it that nobody will fight. I come all the way from fucking Iowa to fight you. That doesn't mean you're going to win. Don't count on you going to win.
Right.
I mean, you may think you're going to win, and I may think that. We just let it go as it goes. You know what I'm saying? A lucky shot is a lucky shot.
Right.
Plain and simple.
So what's the quickest fight that you've ever been in the cage?
The quickest one?
Yep.
Let's see. When I beat Brian Long out of Waterloo.
And how long was that fight?
I could have been even 30 seconds, but I played with him for a minute 21.
Minute 21.
Yeah.
Right on.
You know, that was, the promoter in Waterloo didn't even want him on the card because he's garbage. But he called me like the night before or 2 nights before the fights, and he said, I'll pay you this amount of much money right now. You come up here the next day. I'll pay for your hotel and everything. I will give you this when you show up. You fight him. No problem. As soon as I walked into the venue, which is the Five Sullivan Center in Waterloo, or Five Brothers Sullivan Center, whatever it's called, everybody knew I was there to fight Brian Long. You know, I beat him with a triangle choke.
Right on. So what's your favorite move in the cage that you like to do? What's your favorite?
Me, I'd rather stand up and bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I love to get hit in the face.
Wow.
That just turns the switch on inside. Like, yeah, you're a dead man now.
Right on. So what do you think of the female aspects of UFC? You know, like the Chris Cyborg, Nunez.
I think it's crazy. I mean, anybody should get a chance to fight in the UFC and Bellator, whether it's male or female.
Right. I agree.
I mean, Jesus God Almighty, you got Ronda Rousey, who's tougher than shit. Yes, she lost to Holly Holmes, but still, you know.
Do you think Ronda will come back to MMA?
I don't. Honestly, I don't know if she will or not.
Yeah. I hear
if she does, that'd be cool as hell, but...
Yeah. Who would you like to see her fight?
I want to see her fight Holly Holmes again.
Yeah? I'd like to see her fight Amanda Nunez.
I want her to get revenge on Holly Holmes.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, I figured that, you know, when that fight happened, I remember I was up in Lake Tahoe. I was at the Hard Rock Cafe, and I put a $100 bet on Holly Holm, because I always bet the underdog. And it was that was a good day because she won that fight. I just figured that, you know, with Holmes, you know, kickboxing background, I figured that she would catch Rousey off guard, and that's exactly what happened.
You know? Yeah, she caught Rousey off guard.
Yeah.
I didn't see that live, but I seen the replay of it on YouTube. I watched it.
Yeah. So
I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, the whole world was shocked. I remember the night before the fight on my show, I had about 8,000 listeners because I was live simulcast in a video simulcast, and I had people calling me every name in the book. I only had maybe 2 people that agreed with me that Holmes was going to win the fight, and everybody else was just calling me every name in the book. telling me I was stupid. I didn't know what I was talking about. And I'm like, you just mark my words. I just have a feeling, that Rousey's not taking this fight too seriously. And I just figure that Holmes is a lot more hungry and wants to prove a point. And the entire world, I think, was shocked by that fight.
Ronda really wasn't in. She wasn't even into that fight, really.
No, she wasn't. You can tell by the way that she was training, what she was doing. I mean, it reminded me of Rocky III when she had the media around and watching her train and doing all that stuff. I just felt she's not taking this seriously, man.
No. I mean, it's like me. I take it seriously. I mean, I'm 47 years old and I still train.
Right. What advice would you give these young fighters that are coming up? What is some of the advice that you would give them?
You just have to put all your heart and soul into it, man. You want to be big time, then that's what you got to do. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Right.
Regardless if you're hurt from practice or whatever, you still got to get in there and do it.
Right.
I did it. I fought with broken ribs many times. I didn't care.
I think that's one of the. What do you think, mentality-wise, some of the most dangerous fighters to fight from a mental standpoint?
It all depends on their mental standpoint, though, man. I mean, some of them got that animal mentality.
Right.
And some of them think they got that animal mentality, but it doesn't show like it's supposed to.
Right. Exactly. Well, we're just about out of time, brother, and I appreciate you taking time to come on the show. But what would be one thing that you want to leave with our viewers and our listeners right now? What would be the one thing that you want to leave off with?
What I want to leave off of it?
What you want to leave off
I'll
with?
just put it this way, plain and simple. Justin Bieber, I'm coming after you.
All right. Well, on that note, what do you think? The last question is: what do you think that you can do, or the powers that be could do to make that fight happen? What do you think could happen?
I honestly don't know, but I really can't. Let's just put it this way: I can't indulge any information that I know,
right,
to the public or to anyone else at this point.
Okay, fair enough.
Anything can happen. I'm willing to fight anytime, anywhere, any place, whenever it's ready. I mean, if something like that ever happens, I'm there.
All right.
Plain and simple.
All right. Well, Ron, I really appreciate your time, brother, and I thank you again, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay, man.
All right, take care. Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Ron Imhoff. What a cool cat. That was a pretty cool interview, man. I mean, the guy said he loves to get punched in the face. I've interviewed hundreds of fighters, MMA, Muay Thai, boxing, hundreds of fighters, and not one of them have told me I love to be punched in the face, because it turns a switch on and you're a dead man. End quote. That is pretty freaking cool. Well, on that note, I'm going to take another drink of my beer here. Cool interview, man. Really cool interview. I do. I really think, I thank Ron for coming on and doing this interview. What do you guys think about Justin Bieber fighting in the octagon? That's got to be That's just I don't know. I don't know. It's funny to me, but it's something that I would like to see, and it's something that I would watch. At any rate, Golden State's Kevin Durant is planning to engage 4 teams in discussions upon the opening of NBA free agency just 2 days from today. He's going to talk to the Brooklyn Nets, the Los Angeles Clippers, the New York Knicks, and the Warriors, which he's already a part of. There's expected to be some combination of face-to-face meetings and communications by other means with Durant and his business manager, Rich Kleiman. But let me put it to you this way. The guy has a torn Achilles tendon. If I was a team owner or GM, I wouldn't talk to the guy because I'm not going to get a guy, pay him, just to have him sit out the entire year. Ashley asks, do you think he'll say it's too late to say sorry to Tom Cruise? I guess she's talking about the Justin Bieber fiasco. Yeah, I think it's too late. I think that Bieber ran his mouth and and just kept running his mouth and had the Twitter war and had the whole social media war. I think the damage is done. I mean, yeah, you can say you're sorry, but you ran your mouth, and I think it's time that you should back it up. Just my humble opinion. Yes. So I hope I answered your question, Ashley. Yeah, but with Kevin Durant, I don't think that I would sign him because he's going to be out a year. He's not going to put any butts in the seats. He's not going to sell any. Well, I can't say that he would not sell any jerseys. He probably would. Especially if he went to the New York Knicks. Stephen A. Smith said that if Durant went to the Knicks, that before he even took a dribble, he would be the most famous Knick ever. Without even lacing up the shoes. I don't know. Oh, Ashley's popping off at the mouth now. She's like, it's a Justin Bieber song, dude. LOL. Oh, well, you know what? You were asking a question, young lady, and I answered the question. I don't listen to freaking Justin Bieber, so I don't know his songs. I mean, you might be in love with the kid. I don't know. But I don't listen to his music. I don't like the guy. I mean, my daughter, even in Justin Bieber's prime, did not like Justin Bieber. She's 17 now, still doesn't like Justin Bieber. So what is it? Is it too late not to say sorry? That doesn't make any sense. Now I have to go and listen to this stupid song just so I can understand what it's saying. I'll look up the lyrics first. How's that? I will look up the lyrics first. But anyways, you're catching me off guard there, Ashley. With your question. Magic Johnson, Kawhi Leonard requested that Magic Johnson be at the meeting along with Jeannie Buss. He says that he can't do it. Says, a friend of mine called and says Kawhi wants to meet with you. I said, no problem. If I'm available, that's what this man wants, end quote. Because the league has specifically told the Lakers that Magic can't be a formal part of free agency process, so the Lakers have made no attempt to engage Johnson formally, according to league sources. But he can meet with Kawhi mano a mano to have a little talky-talk and to see how things... No need to apologize, Ashley. No, I'm just busting your balls, or should I say your ovaries. I'm just busting your balls, man. No need to apologize there, brother. No need to apologize whatsoever. All right, let's go back and look and see if the Dodgers have scored any more runs. They needed a couple insurance runs over the Rockies. What do we got? 5-2. So since we've been yapping 5-2, let's go over the standings. You've got the Dodgers. They're one of the best records in the league, man. 56-27. Rockies are 13 games out of first. Dodgers are 8-2 in their last 10, but with the best record in the league in the last 10 of the Yankees. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and they're 9-1 in their last 10. Got the Yankees 6.5 games ahead of Tampa Bay Rays. 9 games over Boston. So what's everybody doing this weekend? We got a few minutes left on the show. What's everybody doing this weekend? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to Lake Tahoe tomorrow. I'm going to Emerald Bay, Lake Tahoe. Going to be a part of a... I'm not going to be a part of a wedding. I'm going to be shooting photography and video a wedding. And then I'm going to go to a barbecue place that's somewhere around there. And I'm going to be doing some barbecue. And I might go back up to Lake Tahoe to see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday's the 1st, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday's the 4th. I was up in Lake Tahoe last year, the 4th. I might be going back up there this year, 4th. Hey, you know what? How many of you guys play on ESPN? They've got this thing called Streak for the Cash. And what you do is they have different things that you pick. You know, will this team win or will that team win? Will there be so many strikeouts in an inning? And anyway, total monthly prize is $35,000. It's free to play. $35,000. So the person that has the longest streak is $35,000. Right now, I'm sitting at not very good. I'm 54 wins, 63 losses, 3 ties. And my streak right now, the leader is 21, and I'm nowhere near that. My longest is 4. My current is 0. So I just don't when you go on there, don't pick. Like, there was one, the Copa America Cup quarterfinals. You had Chile and Colombia. Chile had a 4.6% chance of winning. Colombia had a 95.4% chance of winning. So they were the clear favorite. It should have been a no-brainer, right? No! Colombia lost that 1-0. Same with Bernie. Anyway, Streak for the Cast. Go check it out on ESPN.com. It's a fun game to play. It's free. You don't have to spend any money on it. And take me another drink of this. This beer is still ice cold, ladies and gentlemen. Still ice cold. Ah, yes, that hit the spot. Anyway, I want to thank our guest, Ron Imhoff, for coming on the show tonight. And we'll get to you some more sports figures on the show in the upcoming weeks. Again, if you guys want to listen to the show, just go to tunein.com, search Armed Radio. You can listen that way. Or you can download the TuneIn app on your smartphone or device, your iPad or whatever pad that you have, Maxi Pad, whatever, and download that app and tune in to any show that you guys want to listen to on Armed Radio. Just that little yellow icon with the headphones. Check that out. And go to Spreaker.com and listen to these shows that are on. This show will be available within a few hours after it airs because Jim Bell is an awesome producer and he gets the shite done. I'll tell you that right now. And speaking of which, hey, I want to. One thing, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady has his own little nutrition line. I believe it's TB12, Tom Brady 12. Check that out. I mean, it is a pretty freaking cool little regime, and I like his the way that he does things. And I've tried it out, and I've lost about 15 pounds, and I've gained about 5-6 pounds of muscle, and it's pretty freaking cool. Check it out. Tom Brady, TB12, brother. But anyway, again, I want to thank all the listeners out there. We will be back next Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm on my way to Lake Tahoe. So everybody, have a good night. Be kind to each other. Peace out. We'll see you next week.
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let it go and make. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. You must not get up.